June 1st. I moved into this neighborhood 2 months ago. It's the perfect place for someone like me. Quiet and unassuming. Abby, my loyal golden retriever, seems to love it here too. We go for our walks every night at 10 p.m. Tonight, however, something felt different. Halfway through our usual route, I noticed a dark black van parked near the corner. It wasn't there yesterday. The windows were tinted, and I couldn't see inside. It's probably nothing, but I haven't noticed it before. June 2nd. The van was there again tonight. Same spot. I decided to change our route, taking a longer path through the neighborhood. To my unease, the van seemed to follow. Each time I glanced back, I saw it creeping along, but keeping a distance. June 3rd. While walking my dog, I ran into a young woman I've encountered before. Abby. She was out with her dog, Charlie, a friendly beagle. We chatted for a bit. She's 21, cute, lives alone a few blocks away. As we talked, I noticed the van again, parked nearby. I didn't mention it to her. No need to cause unnecessary worry. June 8th. The van has been there every night. I'm concerned it could be the FBI or another agency doing surveillance. It's not just that vehicle that catches my attention. As I walk the quiet streets, I notice all the little ways people leave themselves vulnerable. The Johnsons, 3 houses down, always keep their front porch light off. It's pitch dark, perfect for someone to approach unnoticed. The Smiths forget to close their garage door at least once a week. I could see all sorts of tools and bikes just begging to be taken. Then there's the Millers. Their back gate doesn't latch properly. A slight push and it swings open. I've seen their kitchen window open every night. No screens, just an open invitation. Abby, the girl, is the worst. She leaves her side window open a crack, probably to let in some fresh air. It wouldn't take much to slip inside. And God, I sure want to slip inside. People are so careless. They have no idea what kind of dangers are out there. I should tell them, warn them to be safer, but I don't. It's better if they don't know I've been watching. June 10th. I couldn't get the van out of my mind. It was starting to feel like an itch I couldn't scratch. To clear my head, I decided to drive across town. I took a few detours, ensuring I wasn't being followed. Abby sat in the passenger seat, her head out the window, ears flapping in the wind. She loves these little adventures. We ended up at a dog park on the other side of town. It was a nice place, a bit more crowded than our usual haunts. But that was okay. It didn't take long before a cute girl with a dog caught my eye. Her name was Sabrina. She laughed when she found out my dog's name was also Sabrina. "What a coincidence," she said. "If only you had half a brain, Sabrina." As we chatted, my thoughts drifted to Abby. She was hotter, but Sabrina would do just fine. I left the park and waited in my car. When she finally went home, I followed her. She lived on a quiet street, which was perfect. The only hitch was her dog. If I approached now, it would alert her. June 15th. I spent the whole day at the dog park on the side of town where Sabrina frequented. Patience is a virtue, and I had plenty of it. As the day drew to a close, there she was, Sabrina, with her dog. She didn't seem interested in talking to me today, but that was okay. Our dogs were getting along just fine, and that's what's crucial. As night fell, I followed her home again and waited along the side of her house, hidden in the shadows. Just as they always do, she let her dog out to pee. Her dog ran up to mine, and they greeted each other silently. There's a lot of training to make that happen, plus their dog being comfortable with mine. I crept towards the back door, which she had left open. They're never expecting someone to suddenly come in. I entered the house quietly and heard her in the bedroom. She was about to come back out when I jumped her. I hoped my dog was having as much fun with hers. as I was having with Sabrina. When I left, I made sure to leave the back gate open. I didn't want her poor dog to starve now that it didn't have an owner. Maybe it would find a new home. Who knows? June 13th. Abby, the girl, was looking delightful today, but that black van was back. It's time to bounce. June 20th. I'll go back for Abby one day. I've added her to my list. Ava, Mia, Evelyn, Carly, Loxley. They're all amazing, and I can't wait to see them again. June 26th. I ponder whether my dog has a multiple personality disorder, wondering what her real name is. This week, it's Lucy, named after a model I met in the city. She's hot and acts like she actually likes me. Maybe we could have more than just a one-night thing. No, what am I thinking? June 28th. I followed Lucy back to her place. She lives in a house on the corner, which is always convenient. It's always better when there aren't neighbors on either side. Apartments, they're the worst, because screams can be heard more easily. I parked a few blocks away and walked the rest of the distance, keeping to the shadows. When I arrived, I did my usual stretches, loosening up my muscles. I need to be ready and nimble. Money is always a concern. It's expensive not having a real job, so I'm funded by the women. And I usually wait until they hit the ATMs first. But tonight, I don't have time. The urge is rising in me. So I'll force her ATM code out of her, and afterwards wipe as much as I can. Of course, I wear my go-to hoodie and gloves every time, ensuring there are no traces left behind. In my line of life, I have to be very careful. All right, Lucy, it's time. I moved silently around the side of the house. Our dogs bonded and the back door was unlocked, just as I had hoped. I slipped inside and crept through the darkened rooms, my senses heightened. Every creak of the floorboards echoing in my ears. Lucy was in the living room, engrossed in her phone. June 30th. Things didn't go as planned. Not at all. I was halfway through the house when the light suddenly blazed on. I froze, blinded for a moment. Before I could react, armed men burst through the doors, shouting commands. They pinned me to the ground, and the cold steel of handcuffs bit into my wrists. Lucy stood over me, a huge smile on her face. "You're under arrest," she told me. She wasn't just any cop, she was FBI. They had been following me for weeks. I confirmed it was them in the van. They had everything. My diary, my trophies, the dog collars I had taken as mementos. 20 in total, each a reminder of my conquests. In the interrogation room, they threw my diary on the table. "Write your confession," they ordered. They already had enough evidence to put me away, but they wanted a full account. So, here it is. My confession. Probably the last entries I'll get to write in here. What they don't know is that I'm not the only one out there. I got these techniques from someone else. I wasn't the first, and I won't be the last. There are others like me, lurking in the shadows, waiting for their moment. They'll carry on my legacy. It's been 2 hours since they locked me in this room. I can hear the muffled sounds of activity outside, the occasional shout, the clatter of equipment. They think they've won, but they don't understand. They've only caught one of us. I lean back in my chair, a smile creeping across my face. I sure hope they're ready for what's coming next.